Hello, hello, hello. You all come in, hit that like, hit that share button. Um, let's get right into the live stream and right into the topic. Also, if you are tuning in now, if you're coming in live, I want you to do your do now. Hit that thumbs up. I have to see what camera I'm on, see which one I'm looking at. Let's see, what camera am I on? Okay, I'm on this camera. Let me switch these cameras. Let me know also if you all can hear me well. Um, So let me add that back. All right. Two of me. Okay, now I think the audio is correct. It said my audio was also removed, so it added. I had to switch this camera for my audio. So let me know if you all can hear me well. And I want to talk today, or I'm going to talk, not want to, about the Shemitah year, about the Shemitah year, what that means, the 7 year cycle. Some of you I may have heard also about a Jubilee year and how that's going to look going forward into September and October of this year. Now, give me 1 second, you all. Why this is important, why knowing your months of the year, the times of the season is important, is so that you can properly prepare. I don't know if you all are familiar with the Yellow Trucking Company. That company just filed bankrupt. But what was more abrupt about that company is people lost, or the employees lost their pensions simultaneously at the same time as the company filed bankrupt. I honestly did not know if that was, well, I know that it's legal for the bankruptcy to be filed, but I didn't know the legality of your pension, right? Of not having a pension or your retirement and your savings being wiped away. And so we're going to discuss what's going to happen, give you a time frame. To be honest with you all, when I first, chose this topic to live stream on, I felt dismayed a little bit, because I know there's so many people that are not prepared. There's so many people that's not prepared, that's not going to be prepared. But I decided to put those feelings aside because I have been faithfully since 2018 live streaming about this for those who have been following me to get them in the preparation mode. Also, we're going to talk about Basel 3 compliance. Some pronounce it as Basel 3. We're going to talk about what Basel 3 compliant means, while a lot of people are focusing on the Barbie movie, the aliens announcement, July 27, Basel 3, which for the banking institution meeting was implemented or put into play. So, what that means in essence is if the banks do not have the physical currency, the real money, not currency, let me pronounce that correctly, the real money of gold, of silver to back it up, which gold and silver will be used to reset the currency system. If they do not have the physical currency, right, those banks will not be in compliance, which means they will not be able to survive or thrive during this economic reset, right? July 27, again, I know a lot of people are, they are doing back to school. They're doing their last minute back to school shopping. They are watching the Barbie movies. They're talking about the alien announcement. That was really nothing new to me. But now you see this with and I'm not sure if I can pull that article up because it's on Market Watch. And Market Watch, you have to have a subscription to see let's see. While I try to pull that up, we'll go to something else. The Basel III announcement, I'll see if it's on the Wall Street Journal. But a lot of these announcements are subscription based news, right? And so, with this being said, the notice of rulemaking, um, and that's not even including the Basel 4 or Basel 4. That's to be announced and implemented as well. So what that means, you all, is that these banks, that these smaller banks that do not have the physical money, the gold, the silver backing, not cash currency that man makes, that is finite, right? Not the unlimited surplus of printing out cash. No, they have to have the gold and silver. And there are cryptocurrencies that are connected to the Basel III and Basel IV, that's connected to gold, silver, copper. But I tell people all the time, cheap as silver is, as cheap as silver is, to me, it just makes sense to get silver while it is now $40 an ounce or and cheaper. So with that being said, let's watch about the Shemitah. Again, you all come in and say hello and hit that thumbs up. What is the Shemitah cycle? So we can get prepared for any more unexpected pensions that'll be wiped away. Um, Stock market crash. Now, if you see the date, it says that Shemitah began September the 7th. I've been also telling you all that September means sept, which is the number 7. And so September is not the ninth month, although my birthday is September 26th. And I always, they, when I say they, you've been taught, whether it's in schools or whatever, but septum is Latin and it means 7. Right. The old Roman calendar started in March. March is the spring. March is the new year. So September is named after 7, after the Latin word septum. You need to know Latin terminology and Latin dates, because when you sign into any contractual agreement, whether it's to purchase a vehicle or a home, a mortgage or rent, credit card debt, that's all written in Latin language. And so the economy, the government operates off of a Latin system. So many people, especially in the church world, for example, they will proclaim that like next month or in the next couple of days, August is new beginning, because they think August is the 8th month, when in fact, August is the 6th month. So knowing the seasons and times and the cycles, because numbers solve problems, right? And men lie and women lie, but numbers don't lie, will help you adequately prepare. So again, let's watch this video, this short video clip on the Shemitah, to help you understand the prophetic timeline that we are in right now financially.
So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Shemitah. So the Shemitah is the Sabbath year, which literally means release, also called the sabbatical year. Is the seventh year of the 7-year agricultural cycle mandated by the Torah. The Shemitah mandates that forgiveness and that fields and field workers rest. Now, with the research I've done about the Shemitah, you can connect big events, historical events, wars, crashes that tend to happen in the Shemitah years. So the Shemitah follows the Hebrew calendar and not the Gregorian calendar that we currently follow. So within my research, I found that it seems to be a link that every Shemitah year there's something big that happens. So you can go way beyond what I'm showing right here on the screen. But as you can see, in the Shemitah year between 1972 and 1973, there was a 46 US stock market value wipeout. Now, most of these Shemitahs tend to start in September. So in the next one, we have 1979 till 1980, US and global recession. 1986 till 1987, there's a 33% US stock market value wipeout. In 1993 till 1994, there's a bond market crash. And now from the year 2000 and 2001, there's a 37% stock market value wipeout. And 9/11 occurred with a global recession. In 2007 until 2008, there's a 50% US stock market value wipeout.
Points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
And in 1914 till 1915, there's a China stock market crash.
Panic selling has been underway for days as the grim reality sets in for millions of small-time and new Chinese investors. This woman says she is not happy, that she's nervous and worried. So how did China end up in this mess? Not long ago, the government wanted to boost the country's slowing economy. It loosened regulations and made borrowing easier to entice ordinary Chinese to jump into the markets. And they did, in droves, giving it all a casino-like feel. The Chinese borrowed more money than they had to play, hundreds of millions of dollars more, with little knowledge about how the stock market actually works.
They have zero interest and zero idea about fundamentals of the company.
And now, currently, we are entering the new Shemitah year, which is going to start this September 7th of 2021. So just having a quick observation, you can see a lot of the big events you tend.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there and pause that video because the Shemitah year did not begin in 2021. So I want to get you all the appropriate timeline so you can make the right millionaire moves or financial moves or whatever you want to refer to that as. Now, this is the timeline for the Shemitah year according to this table. And this is the table that I will teach from. And so with that being said, the time for the Shemitah year actually began in 2022 from October the 4th/5th of 2022 to now September the 24th, 25th of this year. So the dates of the Shemitah year is in this time frame. The reason why I'm informing you of this, because there's very possibility that there will be a Black Swan event that will occur around October, September at the end of Shemitah. Now, where is the year chronologically counting for the years of Jubilee? Well, this is the fourth set of the 7 years. I'm going to show you all about how the IMF, International Monetary Fund, Christine, the president of the International Monetary Fund, how she's breaking down what's called gematria. Some of you all may know it as numerology of 777s. When I say they, I'm saying the elite, Christine Aguilar. I'm saying the elite. They speak in code to those without an ear that can hear, right? For those who don't really understand that we are off a biblical numerology system for our economy, right? They wrote the Bible years and years and thousands of years ago, and they are implementing their plan of action according. And this is why being able to decode the Bible and reading more versions than just the King James Version is so very important, so that you can have an accurate understanding, because the King James Version is a very complicated version to understand. It is not a very easy language. In fact, this is why I was successful in doing credit repair, because the credit law, as I said about the land contract and the language, was basically very much similar to trying to interpret and understand and read the King James Version of the Bible. And so when you don't have an accurate understanding of the language, just like credit repair, you have to understand the language. You have to then compose the letter, and the letter has to now be translated into your own language and fits into the law. If you don't have the law in there, in that letter, if you can have the language, but you have to have the law. And then you have to put it in layman's terms. It's another L that I can put in the mix. So from 20 22 to 2023, it's the fourth set of 7 years known as Shemitah and the 50th year Jubilee cycle. So at the present, we are in the 120th Jubilee. Now, you know that I teach that the number 4, it represents the earth. Jesus, in the parable that Jesus teaches, there are 4 types of soil in those parable, thorny soil, stony ground, right? 4 types of soil. Daniel 7:3 talks about 4 earthly kingdoms. We have 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. We have 4 directions where the acronym NEWS is derived from: north, east, west, and south. There are 4 stages of leadership: local experts, area experts, heroes from afar, and living legacies, or legends rather. Now, you also have 4 obstacles that's keeping you living paycheck to paycheck or in financial distress, and that's taxes, debt, big businesses like Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, your big grocery store chains that will outsource and cause small businesses to go out of businesses because they can raise their prices at, all-time highs for their products and services. And then you have inflation, which is a result of raising those prices. So also you have your air, your fire, your water, and your dirt, right? Represents what will happen in the earth realm. This is why Elon Musk purchased Twitter, now known as X, for $44 billion. They do everything according to the numerology number system because they understand the power of that, and they understand the power of investing in their numbers that they, as Jay-Z album, let's not forget that, 444 album. So they understand the power of investing in numbers as they see them. Unlike much of the poor working class, when they see numbers, they go play the lottery. They don't invest. They do just the opposite of what the rich and wealthy do. And so the start of the counting of years for Jubilee of creation, again, this is the 4th one and a set of 7. So what happens again at Jubilee time? What happens is that there's always towards the end of a Jubilee time frame of some type of financial disaster that brings in a resetting of the currency system. If you want to look at even 2009, let me share this. And behind 9/11, this was between 2000 and 2001, 37% of US stock market value was wiped out. And the 9/11 happened and global recession happened. 1993 to 1994, we have a bond market crash that happens during the Shemitah years. 1986, 33, the double 33. I can get into 33, which is the number of illumination, the age of Christ's death. And at 33, the sun, SUN, travels through each zodiac for 30 days, and then it dies or it goes into darkness for 3 days as it transitions before it enters your next zodiac sign. I'm drinking a glass of ice water right now, and at 33 degrees, right, ice is now able to be illuminated or transformed into water at 33 degrees, right? And so 33 is the number of illumination. Again, Christ died at the age of 33. We have the 33 vertebrae in our backbone that's also known as transition under the 7 chakras. The number 7 is divine transition. On the 7th day, Jesus rest. He did a reset and bankrupt and brought in a new world, a new creation of that or whatever existed previously. And speaking of that, Jesus never came to earth to just save biblically. There was nothing recorded as of Jesus coming to earth to save. I'm trying to think of that name. To save a set of people is rapture. It was nothing recorded about rapture. In fact, in Revelation, it talks about a new heaven and a new earth. Never said a rapture. And then Genesis is the beginning of a new heaven and a new earth. And it tells you those in a 7-day period. And that's also a number system. For example, the 4 days of Genesis and genocide, right? Or where we get gene ISIS, and where we also get our genealogy, our genetic makeup, and we get ISIS for the ancient Egyptians. But in Genesis, by the 4th day, there was 4 things that was created. It was light, right? Light, liquid, land, and life, vegetarian, fruit. Seed was then able to be vegetarian or vegetables, so that human who was created later could consume and eat for life and health and healing. And so with that being said, again, now you have this Shemitah timetable. And 1986, the U.S. stock market crashed 33%. 1979, 1980, you have the U.S. and global recession that happened. And then start also 1972, 1973. Notice that these are in intervals of 7 years. 46% of U.S. stock market value was wiped out. So again, I know this is saying that we are currently in a Shemitah, but this began October of 2022 and will end this year, 2023, because when you add 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, that's the 7. When this ends October 2028, there's going to be some type of black swan event. It has happened like clockwork. I don't have to prophesy for that. It's already predicted. And I could go back even further to 1933 depression, speaking of the double 33. I could even go back further if I wanted to, right? So let's finish this.
Tend to happen closer to the end of the Shemitah year. So right here we have the S&P 500. So it kind of gives you a good idea of what's happening in the markets during that time. So right here in the year 2000, year 2007, year 2014, year 2021, I have marked it on September. And you see when that Shemitah year starts, the market starts pretty much heading down. And then it starts going back up. And it pretty much repeats that cycle. Goes down and then starts heading back up. And right here between 2014 and 2015, the market kind of stayed stagnant, but the Chinese market was the one that was affected. So within my research, I did see a lot of videos of people thinking that something huge was going to happen here in the stock market. Maybe there were some incidents, but nothing major as opposed to what happened in China and in the Asian markets. So as you can
So let me pause right there again and bring you some other updated news about what happened in 2022 based on the numerology of it. Now, in 2022, the stock market, September 29th, right? It went, well, this was actually 2008, but it happened again last year, where history making in exactly 777 points nosedive, right? So you have to understand the numbers. As I said, biblically in the Bible, when Jesus promised Noah that he would never again destroy the earth, the covenant was a rainbow, right? He sent a rainbow. Well, rainbow has 7 colors. A rainbow has 7 colors. And so 7 means a divine transition. God said, look, I won't destroy the earth again by water or flood again. So we're transitioning for that type of destruction. Also, the walls of Jericho, 7. It came tumbling down after they marched around the wall of Jericho for 7 days. Right? For 7 days. Also, divine transition. Nahum, he dipped 7 times in the water, according to the prophet, for his healing. Right? He went down 7 times, and his flesh will be restored like that of a young boy. Naaman, 7 means divine transition. A divine healing can take place within that as well, but he transitioned from being sick, his flesh, and dipped 7 times. And he came and he said he will appear like a young man again. You will see a different appearance. Likewise, you will see a different appearance beginning in September. Again, septum, Latin word for 7 of this year, which is people, August is what, Tuesday, a couple of days away. I mean, a couple of months away, just 2 months away. Thank you for that heart on Facebook. You all make sure you come in and hit that like and share button. So let's finish this.
Basically, what they say, waiting for there's blood in the street to buy these opportunities. So this is something that I'm also thinking about, maybe accumulating some cash and waiting to see if some big event's going to happen this year that will make the stock market crash.
Numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7. Okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. If we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So 2014 will be a milestone and hopefully a magic year in many respects. It will mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War back in 1914. It will mark the 70th anniversary, drop the 0, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. And it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, 25th. It will also mark the 7th anniversary of the financial market jitters that quickly turned into the greatest global economic calamity since the Great Depression. The crisis still lingers. Yet, optimism is in the air. We've left the deep freeze behind us, and the horizon looks just a bit brighter. So my hope and my wish for 2014 is that after those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7 strong years. Now, I don't know whether the G7 will have anything to do with it, or whether it will be the G20. I certainly hope that the IMF will have something to do with it.
But in the reversal in Leviticus in the Bible, it talks about the year of Jubilee, the 7 years of plenty. And we can even look at the famous in the Bible with Joseph when he sold wheat to the slaves, right? We can look at that 7 years of plentiness and 7 years of emptiness. Now, we know that during the from 2014 time period up to 2021, that was the 7 years of plentiness. If you was, especially in the United States where we had Trump in office, stock market was good, economy thriving, gas prices hit, happy days were here again. We saw dollar gas prices. Now we're seeing triple-digit dollar gas prices. So we've been through the 7 years of plentiness. Now we're about to go through the 7 years for some of shortage, right? We're about to go through the 7 years of shortage and not plentiness. And I want you all to make sure that you also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that, especially YouTube, that you hit the thumbs up, because this channel, I'm going to be honest with you, has been shadow banned. I used to have a whole lot more subscribers on here, and you know, people that were commenting. I'm gonna show you a video that I made about the Shemitah last year. A lot more people commenting and being engaged, and that's not the case anymore because, again, you know, the channel gets shadow banned, and they don't want this information to go out. They don't want people to know the specific time frames. They don't want people to prepare, right? This was me teaching last year on 96 and 69 at Queen Elizabeth, recorded death at the age of 96. And look at how the comment in the people, self-fulfilling prophecy 11:11 means you're dropping knowledge. And so you're legit if you use a whiteboard. This is when I was teaching about the Jubilee Silver Platinum edition with Queen Elizabeth that was released as well during that time. And I was informing people that you want to get this silver, right? That you want to get this silver, you want to investigate. And Queen Elizabeth says, thanks for being so well-rounded. You know, the super chats was coming in, but that was the year of, those was the years of plentiness, right? This is me on, you know, breaking down 369 and everything. But again, I was informing people years ago that this time was going to be here, and a time has come. Yeah, this shadow ban, but thank you for saying something. 310 liking on 12 likes. Yeah, I'm telling you. But I'm really, and I thank you for that support. I'm really at the point now that I'm at a great point of peace, because it's like whoever is going to listen and take action on my channel, they're going to do that, and whoever won't. I'm just at a point of peace, but I know where we are headed, because come October of this year, the number 8 is the upside down infinity sign. It means the ending of one thing as the beginning of another that intertwines and enters circle. Revelation 1 and 11, I'm the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. So we have the upside down infinity sign with the number 8. And that's going to be October. I break that down as well. October as in octopus, octagon. It is the 8th month. And it's going to usher in the new financial reset. Many people, for example, they don't even know that Fed now has launched. They don't even know that this new technology has launched. They don't even know CBDCs. Right. And this is how I believe that CBDCs is going to happen. Initially, the CBDCs are going to be available or offered to those who are on welfare recipients, federal government subsidized, you know, and then they're going to offer it. They're going to make it seem like, hey, this is going to be a more stable coin. It's not going to dip like the dollar is. It's not going to lose its purchasing power. And, you know, most people that's on welfare or Social Security income, they're going to be the first ones to offer this to them. And the IMF, again, International Monetary Fund, has already said you will own nothing and be happy. Right. Thank you so much, Jermaine. He said, let's get the lights up. Queen always drop knowledge. You appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know I'm appreciated, because I made big moves and seeing gains from the things I'm learning. What I'm about to do, and speaking of big moves, let me show you this, you all. I'm going to really dive back into my Patreon channel and start offering these decoding and events only to those who are members of the Patreon. And speaking of big moves, you have this Rev token that's up 404% within the last 24 hours. What is Rev? Well, it's royalty from exotic vehicles. That includes luxury cars or exotic cars like Lambos, like Ferraris, maybe, you know, G-Wagons, you know, those exotic vehicles. You have yachts and boats. People are making millions by just renting out these exotic vehicles, up to $15,000 a day. And I've been telling you all as well that you are investing in the blockchain technology. You are investing in the blockchain technology. So now you're able to record and keep these record keeping on the blockchain network of these vehicles, of these yachts, of these private jets, all exotic vehicle, different types of boats. 404% increase on today. And so this is the blockchain technology. If this is my portfolio that you're seeing, DET, this is the acronym for decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology. If you watch the Jamie Foxx, the recent They Clone Tyrone, there's a scene in there where the actress, who's a Black female, says, you know, blockchain is the future. She says crypto is a bubble. We all know that, right? But blockchain is the future. They give you Hollywood or Hollywood. They drop hints to you through movies, through numbers. And most people, unfortunately, do not take it seriously. They take it as entertainment, but it is the truth disguised in entertainment and in the number system. And so you have that revolutionized token that's or software that's available. And how this works is, you all, is that you purchase the software one time to mine and verify these transactions on the blockchain. It mines and verifies these transactions on the blockchains. As it is verifying these transactions on the blockchain, it's just equivalent to if you purchase an ATM machine, for example, and every time someone used their credit or debit card to get cash out of their ATM, you are paid the transaction fees. So it is equal to you purchasing an ATM or you purchasing a goose that lays unlimited golden eggs, because you get unlimited lifetime tokens and total daily payout in mining 365 days out of the year, 24/7. And so you purchase the software and you get reward to mine it. And guess what? You get rewarded from mining right from your cell phone. I have the app right on my cell phone. I'm showing it to you now from my laptop. So when we enter into this bull run, right? Because Bitcoin is having a halving April, between the first quarter of next year, between April and May of 2024. And again, 2023, Christine Aguilera, she broke down 2014 equals 7, but so does 2023. This is your, for my sports fan that understand, this is your Jordan year, where you should be living a legacy, Jordan year. 2024. Let me adjust my camera. Oh, these are my books too. You want to order these books, Crypto Chris Profits and My Millionaire Moves. You can order these books on Amazon. These are the website. The Crypto Chris Profits is illustrated for very child-friendly illustrations, but it's written for both children and adults. So you can get that on Amazon. And also the cryptochris.com is that website, thecryptochris.com. Also, you can find My Millionaire Notes, which is, I see my camera is moving with me, 111 Millionaire Notes. It's a very easy read, equivalent to the lessons that Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches, Robert Kiyosaki book, so that you can know the millionaire moves that millionaires and billionaires make, and even decamillionaires, that most middle-class people are not aware of, things that they do. It's a very short read. So go to mymillionairenotes.com and thecryptochris.com and order both of those books, and take time to leave a good review on Amazon once you make that purchase, and thank you in advance. So back to Rev token, lifetime token for one-time purchase. People, this is perpetual income. This is continuity cash flow, one-time purchase of purchasing the software. Let's see how really big the exotic vehicle business is.
Would you think I'm crazy? They said, yeah. I rented that car 45 times a month, every month. Still to this day, these cars rent. I have 10, 12, 15 Huracans at a time. They all rent multiple times per day.
Tell me, this one rents for $2,800 a day. How many days a year do you think this will rent? Like, what's the revenue this car will produce?
I had originally had a red Lamborghini Huracan. Everybody, when they first started, they asked me, how many days a month do you think you can rent that car? And I said, if I told you 15, would you think I'm crazy? And they said, yeah. I rented that car 45 times a month, every month. Still to this day, these cars rent. I have 10, 12, 15 Huracans at a time. They all rent multiple times per day.
Tell me, this one rents
10, 12 Huracans at a time. That's just for that type of vehicle, the Lamborghini. We're not talking about the exotic jets and the yacht. And people, I'm talking about, we got 19-year-olds that run these exotic vehicle business, and you are getting the royalty from that. Like true passive income, right? True passive income where you make a one-time purchase. I'm not talking about residual income where you may have to buy real estate and now you have to have a rentor and you do renovations and rehab. I'm talking about teaching you how to be rich in the metaverse so you can be rich in the universe and get royalty income. If you listen to Jason Weaver of Akuta, who sang Akuta Matata, he talked about how his mother negotiated with him through Disney, through his contract, that he gets passive income from life from a one-time action. And there are some people that don't know that that actually exists. I asked a question, for example, on my Facebook page one time to list some passive income opportunities. And some people said, that doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Whether you're getting passive income through dividend stocks market, but I'm telling you all, just like Yellow Freight, and that those employees lost their pensions overnight, there's going to be a wealth transfer. And wealth is never lost, you all. It is simply transferred. And I believe it is transferring beginning in between September and October from the stock market into cryptos. And having blue chip cryptos like these, like Rev, you want to get that Rev license. Again, that mines you for a lifetime. You're purchasing a goose that lays the golden eggs. You're purchasing an ATM that every time someone makes transactions on it, you get paid in total daily mining. It's all about accumulating tokens right now, you all. It's how many tokens can I get? So when the bull run happens, I have enough tokens that I am set for life. That when the capital gains happen, because you're getting in right now, the Rev token just started mining on yesterday. So you're getting in right now at groundbreaking level so you can have massive future upfront potential. Imagine if you could have got in at Bitcoin when it was under a penny or even under $1. Imagine if you could have got in Bitcoin then. Imagine, even though we still got XRP under $1 and XLM under $1. But just imagine again in groundbreaking technology, blockchain technology that's shifting the future of America, that's putting all global currencies and commodities on a level playing field. No longer is South Africa right now sending their gold and diamonds, or Saudi Arabia sending their oil to the United States for its worthless colored dollars. Those other countries are saying, we are tired of it. So getting in these opportunities while they're here, and now you're able to not just leave a legacy, but live a legacy as well. You're just not watching The Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous on Netflix. But you're able to really know. And that's what I broke down in 69 when Queen Elizabeth died, the year when she died at 96. See, the church has separated physical, tangible wealth from spiritual wealth. 6 is the number of man. It tells you in Revelation 13 and 18. It says, calculate this number, for it is the number of man. 6 represents man's intellects, man's innovations, but you're one short of the number 1, which is 7, which is a divine transition. And it is the number of also God, the number 7, a completeness. See, you may be finished, but you're not complete. On the 6th day, everything was finished, but it wasn't complete. So to take you to a higher level, your highest chakra, your heaven, your heave up, your pineal gland, that spiritual part of your brain, you have to go one more phase, one more level up spiritually. So you can't have all the earthly possessions. This is where initially King Solomon went wrong. King Solomon in 2 Chronicles 9 and 13 and 1 Kings 10 and 14 accepted exactly 666 ounces of weight in gold for his wisdom and knowledge. But the only issue with what King Solomon was doing or did at that time was that King Solomon heart was not right or connected or collaboration with God. Right? He received the 666 talents of his weight in gold, and his heart was not connected with God. He exploited his own people for that amount. But if you continue to read, and this is another 11:11, right? This is another 11:11 scripture. If you continue to read in 1 Chronicles 1 and 11, I might show you all that. In 1 Chronicles 1 and 11, you see that King Solomon's hearts turned towards God. He went up to that other level. He went all the way up to the spiritual level. See, the weight of gold that Solomon received yearly was 666. Now, this was the wisest king that ever lived in the Bible. So this is, again, 6 is the material things in the earth realm. 9 is the spiritual wealth and riches. Religion separates the two, but 69 is supposed to be together. And I know you probably be thinking about 69 on another, but even if you think about 69 on a sexual level, you have to see that the number 6 is just one letter different from the word sex. 6 and sex. Now, on a side note, reading or understanding Napoleon Hill, chapter 11, he put it in chapter 11, sexual transmutation, and how people in their genius was brought out through sexual transmutation. That would benefit you as well. Understanding the power of sexual transmutation for your genius, but that's a whole nother live stream. I'm not getting into that. Now, this is 2 Chronicles, another 9 and 13, 2 Chronicles 9 and 13, that mentions again the wisest and richest king in the Bible, 66 talents of gold in 1 year. The chaplain and the merchants brought, and all the kings of Arabia and governors of the country brought gold and silver to Solomon. But again, he exploited his own, but his heart changed. And when his heart changed, he said, Lord, give me the wisdom and knowledge. And God said, because you have asked for wisdom and knowledge and not these other material riches, I'm going to make you the richest king that ever lived. How many people ask God for wisdom and knowledge for this financial system reset, and they actually act on it? How many people actually do that? Because faith without works are dead. And as Myron Goldman says, that wealth has a need for speed. So you have to be a person of action. Let me say that again for people in the nosebleed seats. Wealth has a need for speed. So you have to be a person of action and not just wanting information. So the number 6 is a constant battle between the spirit and the flesh. You're in a constant battle between your spirit and your flesh. You're in a constant battle of making millionaire moves or making middle class moves. Because God will never ask you to, whatever God asks you to do, it may not be comfortable, but it will, you all, it will be simple. Whatever God asks you to do, it may not be comfortable, but it's very capable of you doing it. It will not be a hard thing. Naaman, all he said was just dip 7 times. At first, Naaman didn't even want to dip 7 times. He said, just dip 7 times. And he said, what will it hurt you to follow the advice of the priest? He didn't even want to do that. Dip 7 times in that water. Oh, he didn't want to do that. March around Jericho 7 times. That's simple. See, what God asks you to do, it may not be comfortable, but it never be complicated. And it's up to you, people. I'm telling you, the time is short. I sent my uncle a text message yesterday. He sent me a text showing that gas, diesel price was $2.99. This was the beginning of June, and gas was $2.94. And he said, see, our economy is improving. We'll never see, the diesel prices over $3 again. And, diesel is dropping, it's cheap. And now look at diesel prices skyrocketing back up. Right? Look at the diesel prices back at almost already at $4. People were telling me that in California, for example, that they're saying they have $6 for regular gas, $5 and extra cents for regular gas in Florida. So you getting royalties from exotic vehicle. It's called REV. They're usually priced for standard from $7,500 to $2,500. Now they're priced at $3,500. This is for a lifetime license. Again, perpetuity cash flow, continuity, income. Now they do have a package called a micro license. Their license or mines out 1% of what the standard license get. But as it was said on the Ray Charles movie, if you want pennies, you can think in terms of pennies. If you want dollars, think in terms of dollars. This is at a discounted price while available. You are $3,500. And you can get a smaller micro packages. I can show you that. I tell people to get whatever is in your budget, but just get into blockchain technology. Because exotic vehicles is a $50+ billion industry. But you have to be an exclusive member. You cannot find these on any other exchange. You can't find these on crypto.com. It's not available on PancakeSwap. You have to be an exclusive member. And to be an exclusive member, you can text me CC to 331-444-5556, and I'll get you started. But these are the micros. They also have other micros. And so it's a price package where it's affordable. Now, they do have some. I've already purchased a smaller one, so that's why you're not seeing. But they have some that you can start at $250 to $500, all the way up to 20 X packages at $1,000. The bigger the package, the more tokens and daily payout that you will receive. But the standard licenses, right? I've already purchased the 1X for $3,500, so you don't see it on the stream, but it goes all the way up to 10X to $35,000, starting at $3,500 for lifetime perpetuity income and continuity cash flow for a lifetime, not for a little while. Now imagine if those people who pensions were wiped away, if they would have knew about this and they could have took the money out their retirement before it crashed out of their pensions and had control of their money and set their own retirement of royalty income up, before the pension and the stock market crash. Before this happened. You all, it is, the writing is on the wall. I was about to say it's hidden in plain sight, but it's not hidden in plain sight. They're showing it to you bold. And thank you for being a Patreon member. Can the mining software be installed on the laptop? Yes, all you have to do is log into your, because you're already a member. I'll show you this real quick. Log into your IX. I mean, I don't know what you mean by installed. But yes, you can pull it up from your laptop. So you log into your IX Academy website, and you can replay this if you need to. Select go to products here. And then once you go to your products, I don't know why it's not redirecting me. Give me a second. But select go to products. And then you should see your Xnode account. But you should have the app on your cell phone. Once you go to your Xnode account, then it's going to ask for your login to Xnode, and you log in just with the username and password. These are the perpetual license that I've purchased. I have 21 now. And then I also have some mini or micro license. So 183 of those. So, you know, I practice what I preach, and I don't play small. I play big because I know where this economy is headed. So then you log into Xnode from your laptop, like you see it from my laptop right now. And you can see that from the back office. All right, closing up again, Shemitah, we're going to see the end, the bottom, you know, fall out the 7-year cycle, beginning September, October of this year. A self-checkout, a local Kroger, local grocery store has converted to self-checkout. Also, to order my books, you all, you can also go to milliemoves.com and order those books as well in the background. Entirely self-checkout. More stores are expected to make the change in the future. You are blockchain technology, AI, cashless society. It is all here. You go to any professional sporting event, for the last 2 or 3 years, cash is not accepted. Okay, let me read some comments. You're welcome. No problem. Got to get that mobile phone together. Smartphone, it has to be smart. I don't want the crypto market to crash tomorrow, but if it do, I'm just buying the dip. I don't wish a market crash on people who's trying to prepare. I mean, that's good for the unprepared, but I don't think that's fair to the prepared. So if it take a dip, it take a dip. We're going to see cryptocurrency take a dip as well. But it's going to come back with a vengeance after the Bitcoin halving of next year. But, you know, I tell people they're going to be priced out. It's not going to be any more cheap cryptos for the ones that won't take action. All right. Yeah, secure your cryptos. I like to use Trezor versus Ledger. This my for a lot of reasons. But this was the picture my family member sent me. Diesel 294. This was end of May, beginning of June. I sent him this picture. And listen, this is cheap. It's $3.99 for diesel, not $3.29. This is cheap. Like I said, these other states, Washington, Florida, California, $6 for regular diesel, way higher. Yellow trucking company shutting down. Truckers are saying, hey, they're paying out for low freight. It's not even worth it. We got to lay back. We got to cut back. You are prepared now for your financial future. Also, if you need an increase in your income, in your income, go to, because cash flow and income are different. Cash flow comes from assets. Income comes from paychecks. Let me say that again for the people in the nosebleed seats. Cash flow comes from assets only. Income comes from paychecks. If you need more money out of a paycheck, you are a W-2 employee. They have experts to analyze your paycheck. W-4, right? You complete a W-4 for a job. Analyze your paycheck. You want to know who got your money? Look at your paycheck. FICA and them got your money. FICA. When the expert look at it, analyze, and can add the 475 deduction from a home-based business to it, and it's very affordable, then most people that come in and partner with me through this opportunity, they receive a $500 month or more. Married couple receive up to $1,400 increase in their paychecks. And I'm talking about instantaneously. You know how Jesus helped Peter find more fish when Peter was fishing and struggling? And Jesus did it instantaneously, right? But Peter had to be connected to the right person. That was the instantaneous increase. And it was all a strategy that had to be used, not a sermon, a strategy, not a sermon, a strategy. 2 Kings chapter 4, Elisha, some say Elijah, gave her an instant wealth income increasing strategy. And then that transformed into passive income. She made a one-time action. Again, wealth loves speed, so you have to be a person of action. She made a one-time action. She listened to the right person, took the right advice, did the right things. Faith without works are dead. Information without implementation is useless, right? If you waste time just gaining knowledge and information and you don't implement it, you've just wasted your time, according to an old Egyptian proverbs. If numbers fascinate you and you're not going to use the time and seasons, you're just wasting your time. And unfortunately, you're going to be a product of the people that the wealth transfer moves away from versus the people that's going to be on the receiving end of the wealth transfer. See, Matthew 25 talks about the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise. The 5 foolish who did nothing to prepare lost when the time came. The 5 wise who was in preparation gained. Same thing, Matthew 25. The one that had more talents and took action received the talent for the one servant that only had one, that only wanted to let his money sit idle and not go trade and put your money into the marketplace where the transfer of wealth is happening. So it's like we're slowing down into a subscription economy. I don't know what that means, subscription economy. I do know like digital products like the one that I'm showing you now, blockchain technology, like Zoom. You know how many? I pay a subscription to Zoom every month. Every month. So you want a subscription base, you want a perpetuity income, continuity cash flow opportunity where you are receiving royalties and passive income and passive crypto on a not just monthly basis, but on a daily basis. So again, recap. Let me end this lesson, give you a recap that September 24th, 25th will end the Shemitah year, starting with 1900s. The year of the Shemitah, the stock market dropped 50%. 1916, 1917, stock market dropped 40%. Year of Shemitah, United States entered into World War I. Side note, we will enter into a World War III, a commodities war. This is why getting cryptocurrencies backed by black gold, natural gas, what I just showed you is, in my opinion, is vital for your survival. 1930, 1931, the Great Depression, the worst financial crisis in modern history. You all, this is going to be the worst because we're in the 4th Industrial Revolution. This is going to be the worst financial crisis for some in this history. It's going to be, again, a wealth transfer for some. in a positive way, in a prosperity way, for others in a poverty way. 1937, 1938, 7 years later, half of the stock market collapsed, sparkling a global recession. 1944 through 45, establishment of America's superpower, the Bretton Woods Agreement. The dollar, the United States dollar, gained its global reserve currency status. This was actually 1944. You see the double 44. There, 4 happens in the earth realm. This is going away in 2024. Let me say that again. It happened in 1944. It is going away in 2024. That's why it would benefit you. This is an 80-year cycle. I told you all what the infinity sign, the number 8 means. Upside down, number 8, infinity signs, the beginning of the ending of a thing. This 80-year run is over. Babylon, America has fallen. Other countries are exporting the real wealth and commodity for the color paper of the United States dollar because the United States dollar no longer has the backing of commodities. President Nixon in 1971 eradicated that. He stopped it. It was backed by real money, which is gold. And this is why having gold and silver in your possession to use to reset the currency system is smart as well. So 1971, and then they made Saudi Arabia back the gold because they need a commodity to back it. And it was then called the petrodollar. But Saudi Arabia is with the BRICS nation now. They're no longer exchanging its oil for the US dollar anymore. These countries are no longer giving their commodities for the United States dollar because it is the surplus of dollars. Everything is about supply and demand. The more that's in circulation and it is in the supply, the less valuable it is. Likewise, the less circulation, like these commodities and oil prices and your gas prices are increases and your grocery prices, the more value it is. So then we have 1965, 1966, the stock market dropped by 25%. 7 years later, 1972, 1973, stock market crashed by 50%, a global recession, oil crisis. We're going to see this oil crisis again. Again, this is why I have cryptocurrencies backed by black gold as well. 1979, 1980, a global recession, prime rates hit 21%. Black Tuesday, the biggest stock market crash began January the 3rd. This was from 1986 to 1987. 7-year intervals. 1973, 1974, the bond market crash. Again, 9/11 happening, which is really 7/11, right? Global 7/11 store, September, septum, and Latin is 7. But the 9/11 markets on the final day of the Shemitah. Again, the final day for the Shemitah this year is October 4th/5th. The stock market fell 700 points, 2007, 2008. On the last day of the Shemitah year, September 29th, the stock market exactly 777. I've already broke down 777. 2014, 2015 year Shemitah correction, European debt crisis. They're saying that the Shemitah was 2021, 2022, but it's actually started September 24th, 25th, 2022, and will end October 4th, 5th of this year. And this is the 8th Jubilee for the United States. The world is drowning in debt with a bubble economy. You all, that's it. My voice is Porsche. This has been an hour-long live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get into those cryptos before these licenses sell out. It's backed by real-world commodity. Text CC to the number on the screen. Also, make sure that you have a surplus of cash flow and you get into the blue chip cryptos that will run this economic world and AI technology as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. Share this video with your friends and family and loved ones. Set yourself up to live a legacy and leave a legacy. Peace. Queen out.